What you doing?
So we're both rocking the hat game today.
That's right. Say hi to the wife.
Hi, wife. I hear
It's
so
Ashley.
many nice things. He really loves you. Really, really, really loves you.
This is literally our setup for past whatever.
How are you guys doing with everything?
We're good. Just kind of set up shop in our condo, and so it's a little tiny condo, but it works for us.
Works out. I have my office in my apartment, so works out.
We never thought that we could work together in one place, but apparently we can really well.
That's surprising. I'm going through, I said that's awesome. Usually people can't do that. That's great.
No, we actually work really well together. We never thought we could, which is really, really strange. Keeping each other sane. How are you? What's going on?
Well, all of my business got lost in March because all of my speaking engagements that were paid got canceled. But
we're also recording this as a show, by the way. So.
Oh, good, fun. I'm glad. Where is this going?
On YouTube's.
Oh, you told me I didn't have to dress up. This would have been nice to throw on some clothes or deodorant. Would have been great.
Nah. See, this is conversation with friends and not an interview for anything else. Just conversing with friends.
Okay, so what's going on with me? Things are okay. I think it was pretty dark for a couple of days, but my business can go virtual because I can train on virtual learning. I can train on virtual networking, how to nurture your network online. So I'm trying to because of the virus, I'm trying to be very cognizant about people's ability to do anything except just be with their families, right? So it's shifting the narrative a little bit, and got a few clients just by introducing people. They're like, I'm not trying to build my network. I'm like, let's jump on a call and do this and nurture your network online. So it's good so far.
Your friend Sarah is probably winning this game right now.
She is, but she's also really, really, really nice. And people that work with Power Match are dropping just because they're like mom and pop companies and they have no income coming in. Not all of them, but like a few. So she's feeling like, as rightfully so, that she does not want to like ask people or like push it because right now everybody's struggling. But it's the perfect, position to be in because it's all virtual. You can still connect with people virtually. So it's just an interesting dynamic. But yeah, we're doing well.
That's good.
Getting people attached, but it's it's just the messaging.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, tell us what you do there.
Oh, it's what I do. So my job is I'm a networking concierge. So my job before COVID was I would go to. So I'm a lady of the night now. Desperate times. Ooh, just kidding. So my job is I go to events with clients as an extension of them, so that way they're networking effectively and with intention. And then I go and speak at conferences on effective networking within business-to-business industries, and I train sales teams on how to network effectively. So I did have a lot of, in the beginning, a lot of my business was going to events, working at conferences, doing the pre, the during, and the post. Strategies with them and actually being at that booth with them or going with them as an extension of them at those conferences. The last 3 conferences that I was booked for, ultimately got canceled. So now everything is getting switched over virtually, which I already had in place. So I have this champion program, which has been curated after 6 months of doing some heavy research on what I could package into the most effective way to network and to utilize me. So I put myself into a product. So with this champion monthly program, it's an hour-long coaching session every month. You get added to a Slack channel that I give you a challenge of the day, and we can chat at any point in time between 9 and 5. And then I give you 3 introductions from my own personal network that are strategic partners for you. So you're guaranteed those introductions. 95% of that, I did that anyway, except for free. So now that I've got the bandwidth and I'm trying to scale back, I'm able to still be working with people on a daily basis without having to expend so much more energy. So it ends up being where I'm scaling back and being able to have recurring income coming in based off of things I've already done. So
we're just kind of forcing you to do it, which we talked about a long time ago.
What was it? It's fortunate that what?
I said it's fortunate because it's just kind of forcing you to do it.
Yeah, it is. And it's also forcing me to be more intentional about like now I don't ask for things. My one girlfriend, I got reamed at my mastermind group the other day about Ash, like, you were literally going to be making out it because of this pandemic. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. They're like, you were literally offering a service that can significantly help people during this time. And I had to wrap my head around that because I just turned my business into a product rather than a service. Mm-hmm. And so now I have something to ultimately offer instead of ask for. So it's a shift in mind, and I'm trying to be very cognizant of that. But I mean, the 3 phone calls that I've had are all very, very good. I got 2 clients today just from introduction calls and saying that this is what I'm offering. I'd be happy to help. And so worked out. Good.
I mean, it's, I think in the last 2 weeks, people have just been like this, whiplash of like, oh my God, this happened. Right. It's still unknown, which is a little hard.
Yeah.
But people will recover, and you got to get through that moment.
Everyone's shooting from the hip right now, right? They're all shooting from the hip because
nobody knows.
Nobody knows, yeah.
Right. So everybody's trying to shoot from the hip. Everything I've seen lately is, I've been on some webinars and stuff like that from some friends, and everybody's like, calm down. There's stuff that you can do, and there's ways to do it. Can't be insensitive about it.
Yeah.
But also there's multiple ways, right? When it comes to business itself, you got to protect it and protect the money, but also on the other side of it, you kind of got to do other things. So
yeah, and that's the balance, right? That you got to find. Like, how many emails have you gotten about what each brand is doing for the COVID virus? You know what I mean? Like, it's obnoxious, and that there's no personality to it. The best response that I got, or at least the best reach out, has been through a lot of the people that I've known for a while. They're like, hey Ash, how you doing? Like individual, reaching out. But one thing I'm going to steal, which was a brilliant move by Chelsea Craig. Do you know Chelsea? Let me introduce you to Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah, I know Chelsea.
Did she send you the Loom video yet?
No.
She sent me a nice, a personalized video through Loom, which I've been looking to get into anyway because it's a great way to train. It's a Loom video, and she's like, hey Ash, just want to check in how you're doing. I know things are really, scary right now, but it was a personalized video message that took 2 seconds to click on, and it was personalized to me, and it was great. And I love that because she stayed in front, and I'm going to continue to talk about her because it was so personal. So I'm going to steal it because it's a great idea to do, and just to make sure everyone's doing okay. So I thought it was great.
Yeah. I think that's partially I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. I've been checking out clients we've had and current clients, and you just kind of got to go through the motions.
You got to nurture, man. You got to call people you haven't called in forever, and see how they're doing, and just stay in front of people as a way of being kind and doing the things that you haven't done in a while. We have time. So
right.
It's interesting. Or less of it.
Well, I mean, partially also too is you kind of, I've been talking about to other agencies. It's kind of like, you can't do lead gen right now. What does your market look like? Lead gen can be like, oh, do you need something? So it's partial just kind of trying to survive through the next few months of, I mean, economy is economy. It's going to go up and down. It always does. But just recovering people know that's going to be there, and you got to get moving.
Did you see the Philadelphia Relief Fund, the grant that you can sign up for? Okay. Yep.
I'm
gonna register for that. It's everyone's on hold. It's interesting. I don't know about you, but the last few virtual conferences or virtual things that I've been on, everyone is very connected, very kind and considerate, and there's no selling involved. I haven't had any issues where anybody's throwing shit in somebody's face, and it's been we're all coming. It's like going to a networking event that has a nonprofit theme to it. Right, you're all there. So we're all there for a common reason, right? And so I'm finding that to be, or at least on mine. Not everybody has the same experience, but That's what I'm saying. It's like 9/11. Everyone's coming together for a few weeks, and then everyone's going to be at each other's throat in about a month.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, so there's multiple things, right? Everything we've always talked about networking and how it works, how it's supposed to work, that, people who are handing their business cards and assholes and stuff like that, this literally the whole situation gets rid of that completely because they won't be able to handle it, right? How do you how you survive as that kind of person and go like, you can't. There's no way you're doing that, right? You got to have some care and figure out what people want, and people who win is those who pay attention to it, right? So kindness, empathy, all the things that people have been saying a long time, but people are just trying to jump in as a used car salesman.
Exactly. And the people that are doing that are getting called out like that. It's like it's way less unacceptable now. It's not just a stereotype. Now it's offensive.
Yep. Which is awesome.
Which is great. Weeds out the bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. It changes the conversation, which is great. I kind of love that. So how do you think your whole world is going to change overall?
I think it's.
It already has.
But. Yeah, it's shifted. The change has been, completely honest, has been emotionally, because I thrive and I get fed by other people's energy when I'm face to face. Like, I do really well in front of crowds and giving presentations. Like, that's my jam. And what's been difficult, or at least what I find to be difficult, is that when I'm going through a tough time, or like anything that's been uncertain, like I will be inundated with my work and I will not leave my house. And what I'm finding is that the fact that I'm not leaving my house, I'm getting more fatigued. I'm not eating well. I'm nervous about making a paycheck, still going through a divorce, still going through all that stuff, and trying to mentally make sure that my clients know that I'm here for them and not be a hypocrite. Like, how can I help you when I can't even help myself right now? And so it's serious. It's serious, what's going on. And I have, do you ever go through something I like to call a dip? So a dip is when you're kind of feeling like you're going through all these emotions, and then you're feeling really bad. Like, you're feeling like it's the end of the world. And so the dip is where you jump, like you're jumping into a lake. And when you jump into that lake, your chest gets tight because it's cold. It's super cold lake. Your body starts to tense up because your muscles are, contracting, and you can't breathe, and you're basically just anxious and trying to get up for air. And so the dip can last a couple hours. It can last a couple days where you're underwater. And being underwater doesn't mean you're not going to reach the top. It just means it's going to take you longer to get there because of every other physical and mental thing that's going through your mind and body as you're trying to get to the top. But the top is there. Like, getting out of the water is always there. It's just how fast and how much, do you need to slow down to get to the top? Do you need to work harder to get to the top? Do you need to, block out how cold it is to get to the top? You're never not going to get to the top. It's just, how are you going to get there? And so that dip was kind of being underwater for the last few days. And one of my buddies, I had a mastermind call yesterday, and I was kind of going through the motions and explain what was going on. And I've loved these guys for the past 4 years. And so I said to them, I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. I'm not really focused. I'm having a difficult time, getting out of this dip in my head. And they were all very supportive. I have a great call with them with two of my girlfriends on Friday. They were like, we actually need to hire you for what you're doing. And so it worked out. And then this morning was hard to get out of bed because, again, I'm still trying to come up from the dip. So a buddy of mine from the mastermind group called me yesterday. He goes, Ash, I don't mean to be an asshole. It's like, what's the matter, Steve? It's like, I don't mean to be an asshole. He's like, the last 2 phone calls I've had with you, I don't like. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, why? He's like, well, he goes, Ash, you're being too negative. And he goes, I'm not trying to be an ass. He goes, listen, you have to remember that you built this from nothing. You've built your brand from nothing. He goes, if anyone is going to get out of this, it's going to be you. But the first thing you have to do is take care of yourself. You have to get out of your house. And he literally, I could hear him opening up a book or a piece of paper, and he had notes of things. He goes, you need to get out. You need to get up, and you need to stop. Number one, you need to stop. So I didn't even have anything to say to him except thank you, because he allowed me to see him as a coach, which is what I responded to. Like, I trust him immensely. I, explicitly love his background, and like I respect him incredibly. And all I needed somebody to do was be like, get up. And because I didn't want to disappoint him, I got up and I went for a walk. And I came back and I closed 2 deals. Like, it's crazy how one person can just get you out of that. And I didn't ask for it, but he recognized it and he noticed it. And that's why networking is so important, because I've got people like that in my corner that are helping me more immensely than even my own family. Like, it's crazy. So that dip, I think right now what everyone's going through is, think of it as jumping into a lake and getting into a cold lake and recognizing that that lake is always going to be there. And how are you getting out of it? You know?
I have a real one for you. My dip was last Friday.
Your dip was last Friday? Oh, good.
I ended up in the ER.
In the ER? Dude, what was it, the ocean? Did you go into the ocean?
No, I ended up in the ER. Had a whole bunch of things going on. That was fun.
Dude, I'm sorry. But look, you got out.
Yeah.
You got out.
It was a combination of all.
I can't even imagine. But do you think it is, with your dip, do you think it's a lack of being, like, leaning into the shit? Or, like, do you think it's, like, the lack of leaning into it, or is it, like, all of a sudden it hits you all at once because you're not really paying attention? Like, you see it coming.
It was just,
and you're pushing it away.
I think it's more of, you don't really see it coming. You kind of do, but you don't. And then it's just a combo of everything else going on at the same time, because you're worried about, this is not a, if this was a financial dip, it's fine, whatever. I'll go out, make more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a lot more than that. It's family. It's making sure they're okay. Like, a lot more things going on than just, I have the same discussion over and over. Is like, after 9/11 or the financial crisis, you kind of still had this like progression of, this is where we're going to be. We can all go, there's one day it happened and there it is, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to be a span of for a long time.
This is going into May at the least.
It's not even May. It's going to be a year at least.
We think, yeah.
Because it's going to come back in the fall, and it's just going to be one of those before we all get vaccines or, massively be immune to it. Mm-hmm. This is going to happen. So you kind of got to look at it from a different perspective, and nobody has ever been here.
Exactly. Right. And like, it's like weirdly puts you in like a panic and then a calm, because it's not like you're doing it alone. Mm-mm. And like, that is weirdly calming. And
you're not doing it alone. I think technology has a big, huge play in this right now. We're in an age, where tech is just so huge into this. And I don't mean just like our technology, like big tech to pharmaceutical to health to all those things, right? Tech is playing a big part.
Yeah, very much so. Dude, your dip. Whew.
I'll tell you about it later.
We'll start drinking. Cool.
All right, a fun question since we're going to end this. What are you currently obsessed with?
Obsessed with? Tacos. I'm currently obsessed.
Could be tacos. I'm okay with that.
Tacos. That's a really good question. What am I obsessed with? I'm trying to think of what I do every day that's like on repetition. You know what? I have been recently obsessed with listening to Joe Rogan podcasts while I'm doing dishes. And like, isn't that weird? It's like a weird thing, but like, I find comfort in that. But I'm trying to think of an obsession.
He does have a crazy, sexy voice. It's just his podcasts are like 5 hours long. So.
I know. Well, that's why I only grab like when I know I'm going to be in a place for like 20 minutes, I'll just throw on something that he does. But like, I like his guests because his guests are storytellers, and like they're not like so whatever, and that conversation goes by all over crazy. What am I obsessed with? Honestly, I'm coming up from a dip, so I'm trying to figure out, like, I should be obsessed.
Tacos work. Tacos work. I'm
I
okay with
don't know,
tacos.
I know, but I don't want tacos.
Everybody goes like overboard with this. It's like, no, tacos are fine.
Tacos are good. I don't want some tacos. Yeah. What about you? What are you obsessed with?
Nope, not answer that one.
Okay.
Nope,
Okay.
That's a question for you. I have one, but it's just too far. I answered that yesterday, so we're not answering it again.
Got it. Okay. What can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What is your series that you're watching right now?
Series that we're watching right now?
Yeah.
What did we start? Ozarks.
Oh, how is it? I got into it like the
I
first.
don't know. We just watched like an episode.
Did you see Peaky Blinders?
Yeah. There's some tiger show on that we're supposed to watch.
Everyone is going crazy over that, and I'm like, this is gonna hurt my heart. This is gonna hurt my heart about tigers.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's one of those, like, I still watch regular, there's still series on TVs that I just kind of watch because it just turn my brain off.
Yeah, yeah. When do you turn your brain off? What hours? Where do you give yourself time? Whatever.
I don't. There's no real. Yeah, I try to turn it off, but it's always on.
Yeah.
I try to read
here's
that
what I'm
more.
obsessed with, because this is what I do every night. Melatonin. I just got into it a couple weeks ago. Taking melatonin to go to sleep. Isn't that weird? It actually is quite comforting because I know I'll wake up completely refreshed.
Yeah, so melatonin is, believe it or not, it's actually not for sleeping. It's actually adjusting your body clock.
Oh, I like that.
Because it's your natural production of melatonin in your body. It's just added to it. That's all it is. It's not. It's that's why it's not addictive.
Yeah, it just helps produce
because
like.
it's not because it's not right. It's just adjusting your body clock. It's fantastic when you travel.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like melatonin. That's my. They're gummies.
We do have gummies now. Yeah.
I like the gummies.
Obviously, it lets you sleep better at night.
But
actually, in this condo, it's kind of crazy. We have it's so quiet down here, and we have blinds that everything is just dark. We sleep so good here. It's bonkers.
That's good. Did you guys just move?
No.
No. You've always been in the condo.
No, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll explain later.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Thanks, Ash.
All right, man.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm not gonna go anywhere.